Hey guys, welcome back to Motorspins. My name's Amber and this is the 2020 Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Originally, the muscle car came out in 1964. The Dodge Challenger came out in 1970. So in the 1970s, the insurances asked the government to put regulations on these American muscle cars to bring down the horsepower, and the second generation of the Challenger only had about 77. Now today, in its current state, this thing holds about 770 horsepower in the Dodge Hellcat. So this design originally came out in 2008, and then in 2015 it got a revamp. And we can go ahead and see that this is the original color and this is smoke show. It's a pretty grayish blue color. And then here we can see that these are the blacked out wheels. This is the option that you can go ahead and get from the factory with also some Brembo brakes to help it stop faster. And then you can also see Hellcat logo is right here. We also have it on the back spoiler and then on the front. Going on to the back, we can see this very square car, mostly because this car is not made for turns. It's usually just for straightaways and going fast in one direction. This is the spoiler that's optional, and we also have a backup camera in there. This is also an extra charge. On the side right here, you can kind of see the wide body from the side too. It helps to get traction on straightaways. As you can see, it's kind of like curved and it's usually on the outside of these little fenders right here. Okay, so this is the exhaust right here, and it is a dual exhaust. It's ridiculously loud. Okay, and then going to the front, we have another one of the emblems right here, and then we have the cat and the SRT. And then right here, as you can see, there's a little hole, and that's so that the air can go straight into the engine. And then we actually have two of these hood scoops, and then this one is the only one that actually works. This one does not work, and that's because the air inflow only goes in through that one. And this is the splitter guard. A lot of these are on for shipping purposes, but a lot of people accidentally leave them on, or they leave them on because they like the color combo. Right here, this is the front splitter, and this helps keep the car down when it's going at fast speeds. A lot of times you can see that they make it a little bit more or less noticeable, but in this one, you can see it's totally noticeable and it's totally different color. This splitter is mostly for function and not design. Let's go ahead and open the engine up. Right here we have the supercharged Hemi V8. This was also shown in other cars such as the Jeep Cherokee, and also known as the Trackhawk, and it was also in the Durango, the Dodge Durango. The Hemi wasn't invented by Dodge or Chevy, but they branded it on all of their vehicles. So this is the engine block, and it's an iron block. It is allowed to stand really high heats, which allows it to perform better than most muscle cars. We can see that it has two fuel lines, and it allows it to pump more fuel into the engine. You can see right here the hood is really short, and it's right here. This is all the radiator, so this allows more room for the radiator to go in, which is not common on a lot of cars, but this one is for all performance. So this is why this has a huge radiator. So most sports cars have the engine right behind the front axle. That allows it to go around corners and perform way better. But the Dodge Challenger, they didn't really care where it went, and they just put it smack dead in the middle, right in front on top of it. And this is because it's mostly only used for straightaways and going in one direction. Okay, so starting with this car, we can go ahead and see that there's Alcantara, and that's on our steering wheel. It's also on some of the seats. You can also see that the car has 5 seats in this car total. This is like a boat. It is literally so big in here. And you can also see that there's some white stitching all around. This is also another modification you can do. But for the part up here, it's mostly just plastic. When we look at the seats, we can also see that this SRT is on there as well, and this is in Boston. And if we go ahead and start it up, we can see we have the Uconnect radio, and this just has a whole bunch of different apps and stuff, so you can go ahead and do the different controls. So this is the one for the driving, and then you could do different modes. So you could do your track setting, your sport setting, or you could go into even custom. So if you want to do like the standard sport mode, you just press this SRT button. And right here we have the analog gauge cluster, and this is so that we can go ahead and hit the right RPMs when we're shifting up. This car is equipped with an insane amount of power, so it's really good to have this to watch your RPMs because it flies by really fast. These are the paddle shifters, so this allows you to shift up or shift down, and this car is automatic, but the paddle shifters allow you to do that, and that's when you shift it over into manual. So now we're going to check out the trunk space, and right here on the key, you can go ahead and open the trunk up. Right here we can see that this is a big old trunk. You can fit a lot of groceries in here, put all your kids' space in there and everything. That's a good thing for a family car that goes 700 horsepower. So now we're gonna go take it for a drive, and we're gonna go ahead and turn it on with the key fob. And let's go. So it's pretty smooth starting. I like, brakes are a little touchy. to my old car. It does feel like a boat though. This car is really big for what it is. It's kind of got some like blind spots too. I feel like it's very wide, so you have to like watch when you turn. But overall, it's a pretty nice car. I like the windshield. It's not too narrow or too long. So what's another really cool feature about this car is that this one is the red one, and it allows you to have 717. So that's the maximum horsepower that this car has, where the other one is black and it only has 500 horsepower. So if you wanted to give it to your kids, you could give it to them with a little less horsepower, but I mean 500 is still a lot of horsepower. And then also this car comes with a launch control, which is a really cool feature if you ever wanted to do it on the track. You can't do it in public, but it's a really cool feature. It allows you to shift and know when to go with different RPMs. So we just checked out this 2020 Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Motorspins. Bye!